Hi then boys and girls, hope you're all well. Welcome along, another little review for you. This time, as you can see, we got a set of SIP triple mowers. Now where have we gone and done that, you may ask? Well, to be honest, I've never tried anything from SIP. I've kind of seen it at shows and events and the odd demo here and there, but I've never been up close and personal, let alone tried them out. So I thought, you know what, let's have a bash. So we called the guys up from SIP, Mr. Martin Holden, sorting them all out in the UK. So we called them up, said, can we have a try of your mowers? And they went, not a bother. So here we go. We got sets of SIP triple mowers. Front one is the Silvercut Disc 300 FFC. FFC standing for Front Finger Conditioner. And then at the back we got the Disc 900, also part of the Silvercut family. And that's the Disc 900 CFC. So I think that's Central Finger Conditioner. So bit of logic in their naming system. And then on top of these triple mowers as well, the guys at SIP also kindly sent us a trail tedder, which is it's the Spider 1300 12T. So 13 metre wide, 12 rotors. So that's a bit of a beast. We'll do another little video on that. But for now, we shall we'll focus on these mowers and see what's what. So, I mean, we'll start at the front. Nice logical place to start, if you ask me. So the Disc 300 Silvercut, like I mentioned, you got the Silvercut family of disc mowers from SIP. I think there's three front mower widths that they offer in this disc mower range. There's a 300, I think there's a 340 and a 380. 300 being 3 metre working width, obviously a very popular model for the UK. I think the 340 probably getting a touch on the large side for a lot of people in the UK, and then you got the 380, I think, which is just a monster and probably just too wide for the UK and Irish market. Anyway, so we got the 300 on the front here. So it is, hang on, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 disc machine. The two outer discs on both sides, they both spin inwards. Basically, it just tries to help channel the crop flow towards the centre of the mower and get it in between the tractor wheels. But as ever with most of these mowers as well, you got your swath board deflectors on there as well, helping adjust the swath width. Speaking of the mowing bed, the bed is all made by SIP. SIP do everything themselves on these mowers pretty much. Obviously they're buying components like bearings and gears and things like that. But the bed, it's all theirs. It's a two-piece bed bolted together, so you've got a nice trough and then pretty much like a lid, effectively. Fairly, well, I would say it's quite a skinny bed, gets under the crop really well. Speaking of that, I mean, in terms of performance, we've had it out this week and yeah, does a nice clean job. I mean, obviously, when it comes to performance with mowers, it's all about setup. But that said, it's done a decent job for us this week. The suspension system on the front in particular has worked really well. We've got some really, I won't say nasty, but we've got some really good uppy downy reins, as we might call them, or grips as you might call them, and it's followed them really well. Got to give it that. So top marks on that. And then in terms of movement, I think it can drop into a hollow by about 200mm, and then it can pretty much lift up by about 300mm, but that depends on where you kind of got your linkage set as well. So it's got a fair range of movement, and then it can tilt forward, I think that's by about sort of -6 degrees, something like that, and it can tilt backwards by about 14 degrees, and it tilts sideways plus or minus 28 degrees. So it's got a fair old bit of flex in this front mower. So yeah, just going back to the bed. So like I say, it's got the 7 discs on there. Each disc has got its own protection system. So I think it's 4 brass pins, and they sit vertically in the top. So if it does hit a foreign object, something horrible like that, it can just shear, pop off like that. And I think basically all you do is then just pop the disc off and just replace those 4 brass pins effectively, and then away you go again. You don't actually have to go into the trough or anything like that. You don't have to go lifting hubs out. So quite a decent system. Granted, we've not tried it, and that's always a good thing in my book. That's what they tell us anyway. Apparently it's a matter of minutes, swap it over, job's a Bobby Dazzler. Now moving to the top of the mower. As you can see, this is, I mean, some manufacturers call it a pull type mower, which is weird because it's out the front. I prefer to call these type of mowers suspended type mowers, because that's what it is. It's got a frame coming from the headstock up and over the mower, and the mower is suspended in that frame, as opposed to other kind of mowers which are push type. And these guys also do a push type, so you get a push type or a suspended type. As you can see, We got the suspended type, and as I've already mentioned, it does offer a really good range of movement as well. And then built into that headstock, there's various locking mechanisms, so you can obviously sit the mower, lock it solid for when you want to drop it off. You can lock it solid for transport position, and then there's just a bit of a stand at the front, so you pop your stand on the front there, lock off the suspension unit, and yeah, there you go, back off, drop it off, jobs are good. And then to adjust the suspension pressure on there, it's hydro pneumatic, so you just give it just turn the tap on there, which normally does your raise and lower, and then you just just give the suspension system a little bit more pressure or a little bit less pressure, adapt it to the conditions as ever. And then in terms of services, while around here, it's just one double acting spool. Pretty simple, really. It's quite odd actually, because you think when you drop this mower, and with a lot of mowers really, you drop them and you stick them into float. With this, you've kind of got to power it down, and then it's actually the slot here, it sort of floats within the slot there, so the suspension unit takes care of itself basically. So that's the suspension on that. Like I mentioned, you got your swath deflectors back here, just a pair of them, one either side, jobs are good, and a nice bit of range of movement in there. And then in terms of the drive, obviously central drive to central gearbox, everything goes out to the left hand side. There's no split drive or anything like that, everything out to the left hand side, drops down, that drives the bed, and then there's a Kevlar belt pulley that then drives the conditioner at the back. Speaking of conditioner on this is steel swinging tines. It's a new option from SIP, I believe. I mean, they still do. They do. A lot of their mowers are fixed nylon V conditioner tines, which, you know, they do a good job. It's all down to personal preference, personal opinion on what conditioner tines you go for. But now they do offer both of them, so there you go, pick and choose. Always good to have a few choices here and there. And then just back round to the discs. In terms of maintenance, the blades are quick fit or quick release, whatever you want to call it. Whoever's coined that brand name or whatever. Anyway. So the blades are quick release, despite appearances, because there is a nut on top, but basically that bolt is actually the bit that holds it in. But you get a tool off the top, stick it in, pry it open, pop the blade out, stick another one in, job's a peach, job's gone. So that's that. And then just a few other little touches on here. Got a really good, simple folding front hood, allows good access. You don't need any tools to take it off or anything like that. And then, yeah, it's just a handle, pop it up and away you go. And then round the side, similarly, on the sides, just handles again. Pop the handle up, pop the side guards up, and away you go, or drop them down. And yeah, that's about it. And then also looking around this side as well, you got your conditioning adjustment, aggressiveness adjustment on here. I think it is, if I have a little count, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. That's it. It's just four holes. Pop out this, rock it backwards and forwards, and away you go. And then the conditioning hood's quite cool. It kind of looks like a bit of a checker plate design. So a nice bit of conditioning. And then speaking of conditioning as well, while we go back around to this side, it runs at 1000 RPM, which is pretty fast in the marketplace. I can't really think of any other mower that does run at 1000 RPM. Reason for that, according to SIP, you get the throughput and you get the aggression as well. So yeah, interesting little selling point there, because normally most others, well, they're 850, 950, something like that. So they've just gone, nah, we'll have a bit more, shall we? So that's what they've got. So I think on the front end, that's pretty much it. So we'll slide round to the back, said the actress to the bishop.